Guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today I'm making a video that I was thinking I'm not going to be making. It's a really sad topic that I want to cover with you today, guys. And I know my channel is mostly oriented on positive stuff, and I do not generally make negative videos, but I actually have to say something, and this is a topic that I really want to cover that would address a lot of issues that we immigrants face here in Canada. Topic of today's video is why immigrants get systematically discriminated here in Canada. Guys, I've been in Canada for over 8 years and my hands are shaking right now. I was actually recording this video and my wife Nito, who is actually originally from India, was walking ahead of me and somebody started harassing her, asking me why am I recording a video here and what is she doing here. Anyways, I just want to say, guys, that I normally don't get harassed, but I have encountered a lot of systematic discrimination here towards immigrants in Canada. For me, it's a little bit milder because I'm not a visible minority, but if you are, you probably have experienced way worse situations than me, and this video would be very interesting for you to watch. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm still a little bit shaky after that encounter with that person who was harassing my wife here just while I was recording this video. Now, she doesn't want to be on the video, but I want to tell you guys, why do people hate immigrants so much here in Canada? What are their arguments? Well, fortunately, over the years living here, I had the chance to talk to people, read your comments, and well, I have some idea to why people do that. First argument that I hear a lot is, well, immigrants, they don't pay taxes. Guys, I'm an immigrant. I pay my taxes. A lot of taxes. And sometimes I'm thinking that, my goodness, how much taxes I'm paying. And it is just ridiculous to hear from somebody, especially when you're working in the same company, for the same employer, and your employer withholds your money for the tax purposes, and somebody tells you, well, you know what, these immigrants, they come here and they don't pay taxes. Well, it's not true. We do pay taxes, and if somebody doesn't pay their taxes, Canada Revenue is going to give them a visit, they're going to get their taxes back. In fact, guys, I'll tell you what happened to me. I lived in Ontario. My Ontario accountant filed the taxes wrong, but I was an international student and I didn't get my tax rebate. So what happened is, next year I moved to Alberta and I still filed my taxes. I started getting my tax rebates. I got about $700 worth of taxes. I went and I purchased myself a TV from Costco for $700. I called, because being a good Samaritan, I called Canada Revenue and I said, I moved to Alberta. And as soon as I told them the date, I got a letter from the Canada Revenue to give back the $700 that I just spent to buy a TV. And I had to pay that taxes back, even though because of the mistake of the accountant, I should have received that money because I lived in Ontario for 2 years after that. But that's what happened to me. So we do pay taxes, and it's ridiculous to say no, we don't. Another ridiculous argument that you hear a lot, even more frequently than the previous ones, is immigrants, they send home the money that they make from Canada. So they work here, they make that money, they save everything up, and it has to be some loud truck because it's Alberta, everyone is driving pickup trucks here. You take your money and you send your money back home to wherever you are, Eastern Europe like myself, Philippines, India, Pakistan, or even Arabic countries, wherever you are from, you must be sending money back home. Okay guys, I'll admit, I sent money back home. There was a couple of occasions where my parents needed my help, but in total I would say maybe a couple of $1,000 over the years I have sent back home. Meanwhile, I brought more than $50,000 to the Canadian economy when I came here as a student. So Canada still made probably $48,000 on me being here, even though there was times where my parents, they needed some money back in Ukraine, and I helped them out because they paid for me, for my upbringing, and me coming to Canada. So of course I feel responsible to help them in return, and it's normal. But that is not a common thing, that immigrants just keep on sending all the money back home, and it's untrue. Immigrants actually bring, I almost fell down here. Immigrants are actually bringing a lot of money to Canada, way more than they would ever be able to send back home. Finally, and next really frustrating situation that I hear a lot is immigrants come here to take advantage of the system. They rip off all of the Canadian benefits, and in fact the immigrants are getting more benefits than people who were born here, the people who is generation after generation helped build this country from the pure land like this, and snow and nothingness and harsh climate conditions, people who build this country. And now immigrants are coming here, getting all the benefits that even Canadians are not getting, and taking advantage and ripping off the Canadian system without contributing towards the economy. One of the most ridiculous arguments, guys, I have ever heard. My goodness, there is no such benefits specifically for immigrants only. You have to pay for yourself, and probably it's because people don't really understand what immigrants are, and they're maybe considering some refugees or something, some extreme occasions where, you know, like situation. Oh, there is a wasp attacking me for telling the truth on this channel. Whew, go away. Is there a honey on me or something? Guys, I've been attacked by a Canadian wasp. Gotta keep my distance. Okay, at least it's not the people. I'm just joking, guys. But seriously, there's something flying towards me. I don't want those things to sting me or anything. If you see one behind me, let me know in the comments down below, because it's crazy. Anyways, immigrants don't take advantage of the Canadian system. You know, in that category that people are talking about, maybe some exaggerated news article by one of those huge media outlets that want them to go viral. They just use that one specific extreme advantage, pulling things out of the context, not explaining the entire situation, just to play that kind of political game, which does not really reflect the true situation or what is happening, because there is actually no way to take advantage of this system, and the system is not built in such a way to be taken advantage of. So just so you know, guys, that might have been not exactly immigrants, might have been some refugee situation, and that too taken out of the context and most likely untrue or not completely true. So just know that immigrants are here not to take advantage of the system. Immigrants here for better life and to make this country better. Another ridiculous argument, guys, that I hear a lot is that, well, government of Canada, aka Justin Trudeau, brings more immigrants so that they can win the elections, so that they have more votes to win, and so that they can get those people who are here, whose relatives and friends are coming to Canada, to vote for them to win the elections again. Guys, the reality behind it is that population of Canada is declining, and I made videos about it, and there's actually government of Canada articles where they're trying to increase the population because that's the payoff of a successful country and a growing economy, is to have more population, and that's one of the cheapest ways and most efficient ways to bring highly qualified, skilled workers with money from other countries with the language ability, experience and education, and more importantly with money, who are ready to work, is immigration. So it's not an election move, it is just a rational move for a country to grow, and that's why they're doing it. There is a lot of research, if you Google it, done by Government of Canada that supports this system that they have in place. A couple of things I want to share also in this video is that people are actually getting annoyed, guys. By the way, I'm close to the Peace Bridge here in Calgary. Check this out. That's a beautiful Peace Bridge here, so peace to y'all. Y'all. I'm just trying to be like an American. Anyways, people get annoyed if you're an immigrant, especially if they have to rent real estate from you. So if you own real estate, and a lot of people in Canada don't know how to manage their finances, and they end up renting their entire lives. Unfortunately, not everyone, but some. But people get really annoyed, especially if you're new to the country, and if they know that you just recently immigrated, and then you're their landlord because you own that real estate. So people get really frustrated for that, for you owning that kind of real estate. And as well, guys, another part is that gets people really annoyed, and there's a bunch of kids behind me. I'm just trying not to get them into the camera due to new YouTube policy of confidentiality. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, is that when you are making more money, when you are owning more property, when you are more successful in your life, than people who were born and brought up here. A lot of people, not all, but a lot of people get really agitated, really frustrated, because a lot of people assume that your education is not recognized, which means it's not good for anything, right? Some people assume that, let's say, your work experience is not equivalent to the one that it is here in Canada, because, well, Canada is superior to every other country, right? And you are becoming more like a, I don't know, lower grade citizen in their eyes. But if you're more successful, it just pisses them off, and you can see it in some people's faces. Not all the time, guys. I'm not talking about all the Canada. I'm just talking about that small portion that makes it difficult for everyone and systematically discriminating people, which kind of pisses me right off. Especially me being married to a woman from India who is a visible minority. It just pisses me off when I see something like that happening on the deep inside level. You know, a lot of times you hear things from people saying, oh, I know so many immigrants who are, well, they're engineers back home in India, they are doctors, they are lawyers, and now they're an Uber driver here in Canada. Oh my God, I feel so bad for them. But at the same time, sometimes the same people that tell you that kind of thing, when they meet you, and then you say, well, I was an Uber driver for the first 2 years when I immigrated, now I got my license, I'm a lawyer, and you know, they're coming to see, and they see your huge house, and they find out that you're making a ton of money because you succeeded as an immigrant. Now the situation changes, and people start thinking, well, now at this point is, you know, they expect you to do minimum wage jobs and not succeed and not be successful in your life, and then they feel kind of compassionate towards you and support you. But if you prove the opposite, then it comes into a stage where it's like, oh my God, this guy or this girl, they are coming here, they are stealing our jobs, they are stealing our success, they're taking away our money, taking advantage of the system. And that's when all the hatred begins. And from once a compassionate statement, it turns into a bunch of hate for you being successful. And unfortunately, guys, I see a lot of things like that happening. I mean, Canada is a great country and everything, but you still get those people, and when you meet them, that is a disgusting moment when you hear something like that. You know, it just doesn't feel good. You don't meet them every day, but when you do, it sticks to your mind and it sours you from inside. Guys, if you're an immigrant like myself from Ukraine or Eastern Europe, you probably do construction. If you're from Philippines, you must be a cleaner. If you're from India, you're probably working in Tim Hortons, or you might be a truck driver if you're from Punjab. And these stereotypes is the ones that have to fall so badly. It just, you know, Eastern European means you are probably a roofer, you're probably a plumber, you're probably a journeyman construction guy. And it is stereotyping. It is a systematic discrimination that happens in Canada, and people get off track when they find out that, yeah, I don't do construction, and you are probably from India, you might be working on some financial job, and you might be a lawyer, you might be from Philippines and driving your Bentley, and there is no point of stereotyping you from where you came. And I think that in 2021 and 2022, the government of Canada should address this issue, especially in more conservative places, because immigrants bring success to Canada, and stereotyping someone based on their social group that they're from, based on gender, based on race, based on country of origin, is just such a bullshit that has to go away. And I'm looking forward to things changing. Let's see, guys, how the things happen in the nearest future. Hey, we have elections coming up, so let's see what happens there. See you guys in Canada. See you in the next video. I'm sorry I had to bring this kind of negative thing in this channel. And by the way, check this out. The city of Calgary security, guys. I didn't know they had a security, but it's kind of cool, guys. Anyway, subscribe to this channel and we'll see you in Canada. See you in the next video, and I promise you more content coming out. It's going to be more optimistic and not as sad as this one. See you soon.